Okay, this video is about Saul, aka Paul, aka hell, aka destruction, aka Hades. So I'm going to be proving to y'all today that first of all, Saul, Paul, the so-called apostle, was not a chosen apostle of God, that he lied, and he was put in the Bible strictly to test us. And this is prophecy before he was ever even born. So here we're going to put in Saul. This is how they spelled it in our old school Bibles. And you see the Hebrew symbols for it. Now I'm going to put in Hades, because Hades was hell in our old school Bibles. And you're going to see it's exactly the same. So this prophecy in Isaiah 28:15 through 18 was about Saul and how we were going to be tested. And those that did not hold on to Jesus, which is the cornerstone, we're going to make a covenant with Saul, and it's not going to be good. So anyway, here's proof on this. Then it's also, if you go to our translator, I did like different things. You can pull it up other ways. I'm really not good with the translators, although I have been using them a lot more, because just as the Bible tells us all the time, my number one thing I've learned is we cannot trust men. Okay, right here. For you said, we have made a covenant with death, and with Saul we have made... I don't know all that stuff right there. I'm trying to look at the end. I can't see it because I pre-recorded all this. You will not come because we have lied. We have hid in falsehood. Something like that. But I'm going to be reading all of it to where it will make sense. I just wanted you to see. And as you can see, that's Isaiah 28:15. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is how God chose his apostles. He handpicked every one of them, even Judas, which was going to betray him. And as you can read here in Luke 6:12 through 16, all of his apostles: Simon, which was Peter, Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, I don't know if I'm saying that right, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of, I don't know that, Simon, and there was actually two Judas, one son of James and one Iscariot, the one that betrayed him. And then we're going to go up to Acts 1:24-26. We get a lot of information in Acts. This is how we can prove things. This is why God put it in the Bible. We are literally supposed to study the Bible like a buried treasure. That's how we're supposed to seek the kingdom, and this is how we know the truth. So if we go to Acts, a lot of people like to debate, well, Paul, he took Judas' seat. No, he never did. And in fact, it tells us right now that Matthias was chosen, and he did take the place of Judas. Right here, Acts 1:24-26. You can read it. It's pretty small. I can't read it, and I pre-recorded all this. And next, I'm going to be proving there were only 12 apostles of the Lamb, Jesus. Point blank, period. Yes, we are called to be disciples, which is different, but there were literally only 12 apostles. Mind you, Jesus told us many times there was going to be many false prophets and all these, signs. He gave us every sign, and we just looked over his words and paid attention to man's words. Men's words lead us astray. And this is what I'm going to prove to you through the Bible, through his word. So let's read Revelations 21:14. I put it at the bottom there, but I'm going to make it big for y'all. And this is, the very end of the Bible. This is what it says. If you read this aloud, you will be blessed. This is the only book in the Bible that says this. But to understand it, you have to literally read the entire Bible. Thank God I know the Bible. Okay, so this is what is a blessing for his 12 apostles. 12, only 12. The wall of the city had 12 foundations, and of them were the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. There we go. 12, only 12. So don't come at me telling me Paul was the 13th apostle or there's many. No, there's not. Paul was a liar, and Jesus warned us of him many times. I'm not telling you to discredit the Bible. The Bible is facts and truth. He said we would be tried and tested, and he did it. And we're just surprised it came in his word, but he did. Okay. Isaiah 28:15 through 18. Because you have said, we have made a covenant with death, which is also Paul's name, remember, Saul's name, just in different translations, and with Sheol, which is Saul, we have made an agreement. When the overwhelming whip passes through, it will not come to us, for we have made lies our refuge, and in falsehood we have taken shelter. That's not good. These people are putting their trust in Paul and his saved, once saved, always saved, saved by grace. That's total lies. He was, just like he said, he was a messenger of Satan. People just don't take it seriously because he lied about so much, they just overlook things. Okay. So let's get to going on. Okay, so we have taken shelter. Wherefore, thus says Yahweh. Okay, when it says Yahweh, we better pay attention. Behold, I am the one who has laid a foundation in Zion. A stone, a tested stone. I told you y'all being tested. A precious cornerstone. Everybody knows that, or should know, Jesus is a cornerstone. A sure foundation. A sure foundation. Martin, remember this. He's the one that lays the foundation. I want you to remember this because I'm going to show you later how Paul tells you himself that he laid his foundation. He's not lying. He did. But we're going to see what's going to happen to his foundation. Whoever believes will not be in haste. In other words, whoever believes in Jesus is not going to make haste to believe Paul or any other liar that tries to do away with God's commandments. And I will make justice the line and righteousness the plumb line. And hell shall sweep away the refuge of lies. And water will overwhelm the shelter. When your covenant with death, then your covenant with death with Saul will be annulled, and your agreement with Saul will not stand. When the overwhelming scourge passes through, you will be beaten down by it. This is why we have to return to the words of Jesus. Just like Jesus says, you can go look it up. John 8, chapter 8, 31 verse 32. You can pause this now and look it up. He literally makes it clear that those who continue, he says, those that continue in my words are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. People always said, all you have to do is believe in Jesus. No, you have to believe his words and what he tells you. And he tells you how to get eternal life. And he tells you who won't get it. And if we believe in him, we believe in his words. And that's what sets us free. And that's what delivers us from the bondage of sin. This is why so many people today are not being delivered, because they're putting their faith in Paul. You're not supposed to trust any man. I'm going to get to that verse too. God showed us many times not to trust in men, not to even trust in prophets or dreamers of dreams. This is nothing new. God is testing us. Okay. We have to start paying attention to what God says. If God tells us something and then a man comes back You're not supposed to let the man talk you out of what God told you is true. Just Paul is the one that said it. Let every man be a liar and only God tell the truth. There's something like that. I don't know. I really don't hang off his words now that I know he's a wolf. But he even prophesied against himself. This is why the Bible's true. But we have to get the truth out the Bible, we have to receive the only one that tells the truth. And that is the Most High and his Son. Jeremiah 17:5. Thus say Yahweh, the Lord. That's Yahweh. Pay attention. When he talks, we pay attention. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. And making flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. People are cursed. When you let Paul or any other person tell you something different than what God told you to do, and you start trusting them, then you're going to be cursed. I don't care if they call themselves a prophet. I don't care if they tell you God told them. God said many people were going to come in his name and deceive many. We are supposed to be wise as serpents and meek as doves. We can't just fall for the okie doke. You know, Jesus told us himself he was not getting rid of not one dot of the law, not till heaven and earth pass away. We're going to get to that too. So I'm going to prove to y'all Paul's a wolf. But see, y'all want to believe, people love to believe in Paul because they want to believe that they can do whatever they want to do and continue in sin. And that's a lie. That's the trick of Satan from the beginning. From the beginning, Satan deceived us into breaking God's commandments, acting like we weren't going to be punished. Come on now, we should know better. Jeremiah 9:4-6. And this right here, I put it because later on, everyone's going to say, oh, but Peter called him his brother. Yeah, what does God say about a brother? Take ye heed, everyone, of his neighbor, and trust ye not in any brother, for every brother will utterly supplant. That means to supersede and replace. They will literally supersede and replace y'all. That's why there's so many guys, the brothers out there, they all talk to the same woman. They all trying to get the same one. They don't care. They're gonna replace you with themselves. That's how they are. And every neighbor will walk with slanders, and they will deceive everyone his neighbor, and will not speak the truth. They have taught their tongues to speak lies, and weary themselves to commit iniquity. You hear that? They worry themselves to commit iniquity. So when you start sinning, you're literally worrying. You're stressing yourself out, wearing yourself and cursing yourself. Thy habitation is in the midst of deceit. Through deceit, they refuse to know me, says Yahweh, the Lord. Okay, y'all. It's so much. I'm not going to be able to put it all together in this one video. I might, you know what? God's giving me new revelation every day. But we're going to go in. We're going to talk about all the signs. I'm going to lay it out. It's going to take a while because it is so much. It's not one or two or three. It is literally, I'm finding new things every day, all day. Paul was sent to test us, just like the scripture says in Isaiah 28:15-18. Read it. We're being tested. When you're being tested, you have one choice or another choice. You got the choice to believe Jesus, and you got the choice to believe Paul. Now, if you put your trust in Jesus, he told you that's a for sure foundation. You can't go wrong there. But when you put your trust in Paul, and you make a covenant with him, that's going to be null and void. But if you want to continue seeing more of this same topic, this same video, subscribe to me, hit the bell, select all. Part 2 will come out in a few days. Either way it goes, please continue in your search. Please continue looking up the truth. If you pray, God will reveal it. Many people don't want the truth. Just like it says that the light came into the world. That was Jesus. And the men liked the dark more than the light. And they stayed in the dark. They stayed in denial because they wanted to keep on sinning. Don't let that be you, because Jesus is on his way back. the very, very last sign, it says, and this gospel, this is Jesus speaking, and this gospel will be preached to the entire world, and then he's coming. That was the last sign. Now this right here, this is going to get out. This is going to blow out. Churches are going to start exposing Paul, and there's going to be a great division in the church. There's going to be Paulines. People